You have to feel good for the simple reason that feeling good is natural to you, not to try to make things happen. And that's what goes squirrely in those of you who come from the action-oriented world into this world of creating through the focus of your thoughts and creating through the feeling of the emotions in your solar plexus. So often you come to this work and you apply the same things that don't work so well for you in your action-oriented world to this. For example, you say things like, okay, I'll do that. I will work to feel good. I'll pay the price of feeling good, Abraham, if it will get me that. Well, there's the rub. Because in the doing it to get that, which I don't have, now I'm introducing resistance into my own equation. Do you feel what we're talking about?
Yeah.
But when you want to feel good because you want to feel good, every single thing you want, pile of money, beautiful relationships, circumstance and events, everything that you want is because you think you will feel better in the having of it. But you've got to turn it around. You got to feel better because you want to feel better, because you want to feel better, because you want to feel better. You cannot have the ulterior motive of needing to fill this void with that, because that motive of needing to fill this void will keep this void alive and active forever. You see? Did you hear that?
Yes.
We are shouting. You don't need all of that to happen in order to feel good. That's why it can be unconditional. That's why we're so good at it. There are no conditions for us to resist. We are unconditional. We know what you want is done. We don't need the manifestation to be there. The condition is irrelevant to us. That's why we're able to stay in the high vibration. You got to find out a way to do that too, you see. You got to talk yourself in to feeling good unconditionally. Did you get the job? No. Why are you smiling? I just feel good. But why do you feel good? You didn't get the job. Well, what's that got to do anything? I just feel good. Did you win the lottery? No. Well, you look like you won the lottery. What's the matter with you? Why are you so happy? Because I just feel good. Why do you feel good? Because I want to feel good. Because I'm not thinking thoughts that keep me from feeling good. You're starting to make me not feel so good. I think I'll go somewhere else, but unconditional. I feel good because it's natural for me to feel good. It's natural for me to feel good. It's natural for me to feel good. And so, why do you want to feel good? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Why do you want to feel good? Because it feels good to feel good. Oh, I thought you were feeling good in order to make something happen. Feeling good is making something happen. Feeling good is the manifestation that I'm really looking for. Feeling good is the reason that I'm doing everything that I want, everything. Feeling good is the ultimate manifestation. It's what it's all about. And I can feel good unconditionally. Well, how do you feel good unconditionally? By focusing upon something that's easy to feel good about. Well, isn't that a condition? By finding the feeling in something that feels good. Well, isn't that a condition? Well, thought about money and I didn't feel good, and I thought about dancing and I felt better. That is sort of conditional, but I found something that I already had momentum going. I found something where I already felt good, where I didn't need a change in conditions to continue to feel good. Ooh. Okay, so we're onto something here, aren't we? So you're standing, always reaching for more. But in the reaching for more, if you can just be satisfied with what is, the more must come. But if you're dissatisfied with what is, then the more can't come. So it's through appreciation of what is, by finding anything and everything that you can find to feel good about right now. And it is our promise to you, it will get better and better and better. Esther went right back to the basics. She took her notebook, believed us, took us at her words, and sat for an hour one morning and just wrote the word fun. 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 And she couldn't write the word fun long before she started to receive images and thoughts and ideas, suggestions of what is fun. So she's writing fun, and she's thinking about the trip down the river. It was really fun. And then she's thinking about fun, and she's thinking about the treasure hunt with the grandkids. And then she's thinking about fun, and she's thinking about friends on the cruise who are so fun. She's thinking about fun, and then images of really fun people came into her mind. She's thinking about fun. In other words, she couldn't just stay on the singular word fun. It began filling in with things that are fun. Law of attraction works that way. And so she began just feeling fun. She just began feeling fun. Then she began writing the word lighthearted. Then she began writing the word clarity. Clarity was a breakthrough for her, because when she began writing the word clarity and she realized how clear she was feeling, how good it feels to be clear-minded, how good it feels to have clarity about things. Someone asks you a question and you're in a state of clarity. It's easy to offer the answer. When you focus in a way that you're not introducing clutter in this moment, it clears out. It just does. And as you do it the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, these are not the best words, but maybe they fit right here well for you. You clean up your point of attraction. You just clean it up a little bit at a time until you stand in this place of being blessed. You just stand in this place where you expect good things to happen to you. And then everywhere you go, people treat you nice. Everywhere you go, things turn out the way you want them to. It's just everything happens nice for you. And then eventually, usually, sometimes you'll meet up with somebody, usually somebody you know, usually someone who knows you, who feels jealous of how well your life is going when their life is not going so well. And then they will say to you, as they say to Esther, well, it's because you had money that happened. And Esther said, that did help. That helped a lot. That helped a lot. But the money came in the same way that comes. It all comes in the same way. And that person who said that just blocked the flow from themselves. They stopped all the well-being that was on its way to them that day by making that statement, by making that comparative statement, by saying, you get this for this reason and I don't have that reason. You've got a condition in your life that allows that good to come to you, but that condition is not in my life. Therefore, I do not believe that will come to me, so it cannot. You see how it works? If we can, in some way, offer enough words don't teach, and analogies, words don't teach, and conversation, words don't teach. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. If we can offer enough to stimulate within you the awareness that your point of attraction is everything because you are the center of your universe, and that you are the perceiver of it, which means you are the vibrational interpreter of it. You translate your vibration into the reality that you are living, into what you are seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching. If we can convince you that since all those things are true, that the only thing that matters to you is how you feel. If you can leave this room with a new determination within you that you now, more than ever before, care about how you feel and mean to do something about soothing yourself. Esther was on an airplane last week, going from Boston back to San Antonio. And there was a beautiful family sitting in front of her, a mother and a child about 6 years old, and two little twin boys who were about 2, maybe, if even. They were walking, sort of kind of talking. And they were all strapped into their 4 seats. And Esther was sitting right behind the mother. And when the airplane took off, one of the little boys, across the aisle from his mother, was terrified. It was probably his first flight, and the roar of the engine, the sound of the machine, the feeling of it on the runway, he was hysterical. And he wasn't spoiled. He was hysterical. He was frightened. It was a new experience, and the power of the airplane scared him. His mother and the flight attendants looking right at his mother like, do not get out of your seat. Do not get out of your seat. And Esther is thinking, if I were that mother, I would be out of my seat now. So the airplane got in the air, and once it was stable, long after Esther thought it was stable, the flight attendant gave her the knowing nod, like, now that your child is out of oxygen. So now, mother moved over into his seat and held him tight in her arms, just tight in her arms, kissing the back of his head and holding him tight in her arms. And gradually he settled down back into his knowing that all was well. And Esther watched that, and she said to her friend sitting next to her, I want to do that with everyone on the planet. I want them to sit on my lap, and I want to hold them in my arms, and I want to say, it's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. She wants to do it to herself. She wants to soothe herself into a point of attraction that allows her what she wants and deserves. She wants you to be soothed into a point of attraction that allows you what you want and deserve, because that is the only missing factor. How you feel. If you're terrified, if you're angry, if you're resentful, if you're depressed, if you're aggravated, if you're overwhelmed, those negative emotions are you beating up on you. It doesn't feel like that to you. It feels like somebody else is doing it. Esther was pretty mad for a minute at the flight attendant who was just doing her job. But it made Esther want, with everything that she is, to just make sure that she takes care of feeling good. In other words, someone asked us the best question that has ever been asked a few weeks ago. And the question was, Abraham, how do you get rid of doubt? And we said, you get rid of it before it starts, which was so annoying. Because when you're in the middle of it, that answer doesn't apply. How do I get rid of it before it starts when I've already got it? And we say, well, eventually you're going to sleep and you're going to get up tomorrow. And tomorrow you're going to soothe yourself better so that doubt never gets started. Doubt will never get a foothold if you're watching what you're doing. So Esther began applying that to herself. She woke up every morning with a determination that she was going to find a good feeling place and that she was going to maintain it as long as she could. The first day, she didn't even get out of bed before it was too late. The second day, it was better. The third day, she didn't make it through breakfast. In other words, it took quite a while of Esther caring more about how she felt than tending to emails, caring more about how she felt than tending to what was going on with other people. In other words, you've got to put yourself first. You've got to be so selfish. You have to care about how you feel, which means you have to tend to the self that you really are. You've got to find a way of closing that gap between who you're being right now and who you really are. And who you really are loves you so much, adores you, appreciates everything that you are, flows constantly to you, assisting you in every possible way. Last week, Esther came bouncing up the steps, and the step wasn't stable. When she stepped on it, it caved in and her foot went between the step and the stage. Scraped up her shin. She stumbled onto the stage. It was funny. It was really funny. And Esther thought, for the life of me, I do not know how I went down. So Esther has a dear friend who sees energy. She always comes to the seminars in the city where she lives and sits in the back of the room because she not only likes to see the energy around Abraham, she liked to see the energy around Jerry when he was sitting at the table and the energy around you. She could actually see who was all lighted up. She knows who Abraham is likely to call on because she can read this energy. So after every workshop, she watches all of the live streams. She sends Esther an email and she says, yeah, Jerry walked on the stage with you. And Esther says, yeah, I know. I can feel him there. And then she said, he caught you last week. And Esther thought, that's why I didn't fall down. Didn't make sense to me. I didn't have my balance. I didn't have anything close to my balance, but I didn't go down. This is the thing that we want you to understand. We've got you. But if you're not knowing that, if you're mad at yourself, then you don't let us get you. You prevent yourself from receiving the inspiration. Do you know when you yawn? That's because you need more oxygen, and we yawn you. All of you are receivers, you see. How often are you in traffic and you know to do something that prevents something, How many things do you prevent that you don't even know you prevent